Before this video starts, let me add a disclaimer. This video contains a description of violent crimes that have resulted in fatalities or sexual assaults. Granted, I have no idea why children watch my channel, but I figured I should say so regardless. Anyway, on to the video. The old adage, safety in numbers. It's a common belief that we're safest around others. We are more scared of getting attacked in a dark alley than we are in the center of a mall. But what if I told you that sense of safety is terrifyingly wrong? Hi Survivor, it's your favorite undead boy Sunday. Surprise, surprise, I'm not dead. Well, I guess I am, but I'm back to posting and that's what's important. Today we're going to talk about the bystander effect. Now the bystander effect is a relatively new concept that has since created its own subsection of social psychology. The idea being that we're less likely to receive help the larger the group we're in. Sounds counterintuitive, right? I will start with an explanation with the case that started all of this. The sexual assault and murder of Kenny Genovese. In 1964, a young woman was returning from her job early in the morning when she was attacked by a man with a knife, sexually assaulted and stabbed right in front of her apartment building. She managed to fight off her attacker twice and was screaming for help the whole time. Reports say around 38 of her neighbors witnessed the attack, but not one intervened or even called the police for 45 minutes, nearly an hour of ignoring a dying woman pleading for her life. By the time the police got there, Kitty couldn't be saved. Society was left with the question, why? Were these 38 people sociopaths with no morality? Was apathy just the mentality of the time? Psychologists Darley and Latane decided to dispel the world's confusion. Ultimately, their answer was the bystander effect. Using experiments which simulated emergencies in crowds, they found that by having as little as 5 other witnesses, 38% of the test subjects would never try to call for help. Instead, they would do nothing until the experimenter terminated the study. The conclusion? The size of the crowd is strongly correlated to an apathetic response. Now that the phenomena had been identified, they were once again tasked with the question, why? Their answer was the 5 steps to emergency response. They claim there are 5 steps that are required for a person to decide to help in an emergency. If a single one of these steps is inhibited, help will not be provided. And as I explain them to you, you'll see why a larger crowd would increase the likelihood of these inhibitions. First, we must notice that there is an emergency. We obviously can't respond to emergencies we're unaware of. This becomes an issue when faces become lost in a crowd, or we are preoccupied with our own task. Second, we must see the situation as an emergency. Here's an example of a train of thought that would disrupt this. That person doesn't look okay. Is that person under the influence or in need of medical help? Everyone else is calm, so I guess they're just on drugs. The larger the crowd, the more people would have failed step 1, and their calm demeanor is likely to influence and cause others to fail step 2. Third, we must believe it's our responsibility to help. Surely someone else has called the police is an idea that would interrupt this process. We falsely believe that just because there are many onlookers that someone has already taken action. Fourth, knowledge of how to help. If we're unable to easily identify what we're supposed to do, then we won't provide help. Thoughts such as, I'm not a doctor, and I'm unsure what they need, are prominent as stopping witnesses at this stage. And the 5th and final step is actually providing the help. One reason people stop here is social anxiety increases as the size of the group grows. The other is the fear of putting yourself in danger, such as the fear of getting sick, attacked, or maybe legal action. Now knowing these steps, it's easy to see how a person in a potentially deadly emergency like Genovese's could go unaided. The effect is seen in many other cases as well, such as Melanie Carlson, a case where a 15-year-old girl was raped in front of 6 witnesses. Or another case where a man named Rage Ibrahim raped a woman in a hallway for an hour while people watched from their apartment doors and even walked by. You may have even witnessed this effect when it comes to online bullying or cries for help on social media. So what can we do to stop it? Well, Levine and Manning found that we're less likely to participate in the bystander effect when we feel connected to the members of the group. Our role in society also decreases the effect. Nurses, teachers, and those in leadership positions are more likely to help others. And lastly, Bayman's research has shown that simply knowledge of the effect can increase a person's willingness to help. Which is why I switched out the planned topic of love for this one, because now you survivors are statistically more likely to help others. So it's time to ask you survivors, did this surprise you? Were you ever in a situation where this happened? Leave your answer down below. Also make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that dead ringer so you can join us in the next video where we talk about obedience and the chilling results of the Milgram experiment. Anyway, see you next time. Remember, be safe, or you may end up like me.